Hello, good evening, and once again, welcome back to our EIB Inner Circle Learning. I want to personally welcome those who are joining us for the first time. It's a great pleasure to have you with us today. My name is Elizabeth Ho. If this is the first time you're meeting me, I'm the founder of Elizabeth Image Branding. Thank you for joining us. And to all our EIB Inner Circle community members, it's always great to have you back with us for another week of unlimited learning. Yesterday we had Mr. Edmund's session on image and influence. How do we connect these two together? And today, this evening, my topic is on how to stand up and stand out, sharing with you the 5 tips of effective image branding. But before diving in, let me do a short introduction of what we do in Elizabeth Image Branding. So once again, my name is Elizabeth Ho. I am an AICI certified image consultant. I'm also certified by the International Image Institute Toronto as a certified color consultant by the color master Karen Bruncher. I have been an image branding strategist for the past 7 years, and along the way I took up DISC personality and team profiling as a DISC trainer. I have also equipped myself to understand more about behavior and personality through NLP and graphotherapy, which is handwriting. And I'm very blessed to be the first and only Asian image branding strategist to coach 2 Hollywood celebrities, up and coming, famous Hollywood celebrities. I founded Elizabeth Image Branding, or EIB in short, in year 2014, with a mission to inspire men and women. This is really very close to my heart, to give hope, to inspire them to be bold and confident by helping them to discover the true authentic self, by and empowering them to communicate their authenticity through their appearance and presence with power and influence. How we do it is through training. Of course, before COVID, we have face-to-face training, but now it's virtual training through workshops and personal consultation as well. Now, all our work are based on these 2 principles, that you and I, all of us, are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that all of us here are created for a specific, unique purpose, that only you can fulfill that purpose. So it is really, our desire to help you to discover and to fulfill that purpose through, discovering more about your identity, and how to brand yourself out to maximize your potential and your calling. All right. So of course, over the years, I have been blessed to meet a lot of people through training and workshop, through sharing my passion and also skill and knowledge, through a workshop and training as well. Yeah. So I've also been actively before the COVID. I've been traveling down to KL very, very often for corporate training, and here are some of our corporate clients. Yeah. And also, we also have one-to-one consultation and coaching with our clients, those who want an image transformation. And in year 2018, I have been called to accept this award by Malaysian Chamber of Commerce to receive the Top Influencing Woman Agent of Change Award. And this is a confirmation to me to press on in what I have set out to do. So today, our topic is how to stand up and stand out through the 5 levels of image branding. But before that, I would like to know, what is the first thing that came to mind when I say image, or when I mention image branding, or perhaps image transformation? What is the first thing that came to mind? Yeah. So please feel free to use the chat box and type your answer. And at the end of the session, I would love to read out your answer and brainstorm a little bit whether. It is really helpful for consultants like us to understand how the public or the people understand or view image branding. right? In my many years in the image consulting industry, many people have said to me that, you know, when I ask this question, what is image to you? They would say fashion, you know, your appearance, how people look at you, you know, or what you wear, you know, or something along that line, all right? So yeah, Gary said identity, appearance, gesture. Yes, correct. And, you know, for those who, John said, what my services represent, who I am, very, very good. I love today's crowd because, you know, it is, if for those people who think that image is just merely an appearance or fashion and trends, you know, being, you know, in fashion or out of fashion, you know, it's not wrong answer, but it's not fully right. It is only a fraction of what the whole picture of image is. And today I hope to really go deep and, you know, encourage some mindset change that in how you see image, right? So in order to maximize the full benefit of, you know, understanding of image branding, I always say that there are two questions you need to have clarity. Once you see this clearly, then you will know how to move on to the next step. So first question is that, what is image branding? Right? And of course, the second is why image branding. Okay, what is image branding? Because if your perception of image branding is wrong, then automatically you will tell yourself, I don't need image branding. All right, so you need to understand what is image branding and why image branding. Professor Albert Mehrabian, for those of you who are familiar with this 55-38-7 rule, Professor Albert Mehrabian, a professor of psychology in the University of California in LA, I think he did a study in 1967 and came out with this rule of communication. In his study, it was shown that there are three core elements for effective communication. And these three essential elements, Dr. Albert Mehrabian argues, account for how we convey our liking or disliking of another person, right? So basically, it's first impression. How we derive some, you know, our first impression is based on these three elements of communication. And what is it? In his study, he found out that how people perceive you, 55% of it is through your appearance and gesture. Now, 38% is through your tone of voice. Now, what we say exactly accounts only 7% of your spoken words. And that means, that is to say, how people perceive you is 93% nonverbal. And in the same way, these are the three elements how others form their first impression of you. So it's how we form our impression of other people, and it's likewise how people form impression of you as well. So now, that is to say, image branding, your image is a non-verbal communication. What are we communicating then? Am I communicating effectively, right? Image branding basically, in other words, is crafting your image for the world to see. What image? The image of who you are, your purpose, your gifts, the values that you have to offer to make this world a better place. So now from this definition, you will realize that image branding has very little to do with fashion and trends. Very, very little to do with what is latest fashion, what is out of fashion. Basically, image branding is about conveying who I am to you. And this leads me to the second question, that is why image branding, why we need image branding. The key word is this, influence. We want to maximize our influence. Whatever your calling may be, you got to build your influence so that you can fulfill your unique calling and purpose. All of us here are called to do something. I'm called to bring hope to men and women, hope of transformation, hope of empowerment, hope to rebuild identity. This is my calling. just want to share a little bit about, why I'm doing what I'm doing tonight. I live a whole 19 years, first part of my 19 years of life as, throughout my childhood and teenage years in foster homes. So, for the whole part of 19 years, I'm subjected to physical and mental abuse. I live in a foster home where I was beaten and screamed at every day. And, throughout growing up, I lived to believe that I was ugly and good for nothing, or at least that was what I was told, right? And even though I left the home at the age of 19, I came to Penang. I was born and bred in KL. For those of you who know my story, I actually ran away. I at one of the evening where the beating was too bad, it's just unbearable. I ran away from the foster home and bought a one-way ticket to Penang. That's how, I came to Penang. And even though I left that abusive home, I carry on a big part of my adulthood battling with my self-identity, my self-esteem, right? But when I discovered my identity, when I realized that I was fearfully and wonderfully made, that when I found out that I have a future for greatness, everything changed. And that was the moment I pledged. I said, I want to do, I want to show people the same hope, show people the future that they have. So this is why I chose image consulting. This is my calling. And in order to touch even more lives, in order that I could tell my story to the world, and share with people who don't see hope, that there is hope. I need to have influence. I need to, bring out who I am, my calling, into the world for people to see, right? So image branding has to do with building your influence, and only then people get the opportunity to listen to you. My calling may be uniquely mine. What is your calling? Are you currently doing 110% of what you're called to do? If yes, good, let's press on together. But if no, why? Right? So, and I see the same thing in doing our business as well. You want to sell your products or services. I mean, all of us here have something to sell. Whether you're selling an idea, whether you're selling a product or services, people look at your reputation and influence. Right? So when it comes to services and products, you need to create, your impression need to lead to the next step of engagement. So if you have very good impression but does not lead to engagement, basically, you're just short scenery. You're just like, those influencers that, post up videos, but, yes, you have a very good impression or bad impression, depending on how you look at it. But if it does not lead to engagement, it's useless. So our impression need to lead to engagement, and engagement has three things. First is you need to attract, convert, and retention. So attraction, conversion, and retention. Now, if you are here because you are serious to go to the next level, attracting your target market, you're serious to convert them, from just merely a spectator into a participant, then it's time to look into this important non-verbal communication tool of image branding. And I can't say this enough, that our impression is utmost important. In our personal life, it is instrumental in building connection, building rapport with people, new friends that we meet. In business, the impression of others have of us plays a very huge role in how we attract prospect, convert prospect to clients, and how it make our clients stay on and keep on buying from us, right? And understanding, of course, another reason why you need image branding is, of course, it is, to prevent self-sabotage. I mean, in my years of being a coach in this industry, I have seen enough people that basically self-sabotaging themselves because they do not understand how their image actually speaks on their behalf. So this is so important. Your image is your message for the world to see. So it is a non-verbal communication tool. So now, once you understand this as a foundation, as a building block, then let me introduce you the 5 pillars or the 5 important elements you need to work on in order to build a greater influence through your image branding.